across as righteous, but I knew this was going to happen, you know. In order to beat Ciryl Gane, you cannot make it pretty, which is what obviously Alex Pereira was trying to do, you know, piecing up with the low kicks, fighting that kickboxer sort of game. Look, the opponents that have had the more success against Gane, think, you know, like Tai Tuivasa on the feet, you've got to get into that boxing range and make it scrappy with him, you know. And obviously, like Pereira, yes, he has got good hands, but he needs to set them up first, you know, with his elusive low kicks and stuff and his high kicks and that. And that's just never going to work with someone like Ciryl Gane, you know. That's the game he wants to play. Like I say, I've said this before, Francis Ngannou turned into a wrestler against Ciryl Gane. That fight literally changed his whole game around. Like, I remember his next fight in PFL, you know, he started wrestling against Reina Ferreira and stuff. And we know Ngannou was like totally anti-wrestling, you know, throughout his like UFC career and stuff. So Gane is very, very, you know, fast on the feet, very good footwork. And anybody knows, you know, if you've done like a sport, if you've done football or even MMA itself, if you put like 10 pounds on, you know, like for an off season or whatever, or 10, 20 pounds, or you're bulking up and that, you feel it in your performance, man. You really do. It slows you down big time. It's so taxing on your cardio system. But to put 80 pounds on from what you'd normally weigh in at, that was a big, big, big ask, you know. And obviously he's done that in a few months. So to me, for someone who like Ciryl Gane is so light on his feet over 5 rounds, we've seen him go 5 rounds, I just genuinely don't think that, you know, Pereira would have been able to sustain that pace for that long, you know, with that sort of, you know, additional weight that he's carrying, because he does not have that same sort of frame as Gane, you know, it's not natural. And obviously I think that even after the first round he was feeling the pace a lot, you know, so obviously credit to Pereira for trying. But as soon as that jab was popping off from Gane, I knew that it was coming, you know. And people say, yeah, he's not got finishing potential. Yeah, he's not got finishing potential against the biggest men, you know, on the planet. It's the most formidable men on the planet. But obviously, a guy who's fought in like middleweight and stuff all his life and that, then, you know, he's probably gonna get him out of there. This isn't one division jumping up, you know. This isn't like lighter man skill where it applies to like a couple of divisions within each other. This is like 3-4 divisions worth of additional weight. So, you know, I definitely saw this coming, but very impressive from Ciryl Gane. And yeah, this just makes the Aspinall one even more intriguing.